Top dog, buy them all, yeah, I'm burning it up. DPGC, you should be turning it up. CPT, LBC, yeah, we hooking back up. And when they bang us in the club, baby, you got to get up. Cause homies, thug homies, yeah, they giving it up. Low lie, yo lie, boy, we living it up. Taking chances while we dancing in the party for show. Slip my girl a 44 when she crept in the back.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Disrusted Dimensions 4.0 release. Now, we've been listening to your suggestions for the past few weeks and have been able to implement a lot of the great ideas that you've brought to us. I'm going to go ahead and list them for you now, and then we'll go over them one by one. Capture zones, new roleplay standards, new rules, new PvP events, themed cities, new faction events, new forums, new Vanyari skill, new Malinar skill, the release of the Valkyrie, the release of the Wolves of Fenrir, and the Lands of the Forsaken. Since the server has released, we've been trying to perfect the concept of capture zones, one that not only gave you an in-game and sense of belonging in your faction, but one that worked well and required less management of our small administration team. Finally, thanks to your amazing suggestions, we've made giant leaps forward with our development of the capture zones. Let's see how they work. When you wander out into the world, you'll come across a lot of capture zones, as seen here. When you've checked the surrounding area to make sure that there's not any shrines already built to take over, you may proceed to capture that zone by building your own fortress. This is for your faction. You do not put sleeping bags or beds here. It's meant to be a building that your faction can defend and ward off any intruders. The shrine serves as a command post for your faction in that capture zone, and there can only be one shrine per capture zone. By nature, these capture zones will be contested areas and highly valuable, because the more capture zones you capture for your faction and control, the greater the rewards will be from the gods. As said before, we want to give all of our players a sense of belonging on the server with a purpose and an end game. We want you to feel like there's something to accomplish every time you get on the server. If there's an open capture zone or a capture zone that's not open but you could take over, go for it. Capture it for your faction. The only requirement that we have for each capture zone shrine is that there are a minimum of 3 tall banners strategically placed somewhere in your capture zone shrine that are colored to your faction. It's our recommendation that these banners not be reachable from the ground. And as you can see, we are going to let you build your shrine however you wish. This will allow you more freedom. We don't like controlling your gameplay. So be as creative as possible. Use as much fortifications as you wish. The only requirements, again, is that you have 3 tall banners to your faction color, no walled-in zones, and no sleeping bags or beds. Now, let's talk about our new roleplay standards. As you've heard us say before, this is a roleplay server first and a warfare server second. So what that means for you is, the gods will be interacting with you more often. We're also going to start paying more close attention to the player content. If we find players who are only killing and raiding and doing their own thing and never interacting with the rest of their faction or participating in events, we may ask them to leave. It's not that we don't want as many players as possible. It's that because this is a roleplay server, we have to ensure that the experience of every player who does play here is that of roleplay. It's not fair to the rest of the players who are here for roleplay to have to encounter someone who is here playing Vanilla Rust. This is not Vanilla Rust. This is a server unlike any other, and the key factor is, you guessed it, roleplay. We've also updated our rules page. Go ahead and go to disrusted.com and get familiar with our brand new rules page while there's still time before 4.0 is released. You don't want to be caught out in the wild, so to speak, and not know the rules like the back of your hand. Knowing these rules will not only ensure your gameplay is perfect, but will also protect you from having to be disciplined. And as many of you know, Disrusted Administration does not lightly enforce our rules. We want to make sure that everyone has a fair experience. Number 4, new PvP events. If you played in Dimensions 3.0, then you already know that our server has automatic PvP events going on the server. Games like Deathmatch, Team Deathmatch, Capture the Flag, and our very own version of Nuketown. Well, in Dimensions 4.0, we're going to be adding 2 new game modes, Slasher and Last Man Standing. In addition to adding the 2 new PvP game modes, we're going to be changing the location of where the events actually take place. As most of you know, the loot in the harbors absolutely blow. So in Dimensions 4.0, we're going to be using the harbors as the new location for these PvP auto events. Number 5, themed cities. In 4.0, you guys are going to be able to jump into the server and choose a city to live in. Most of our focus, as said before, in 4.0 is going to be living in the cities and promoting roleplay therein. One of the nice new features about 4.0 is that now the cities have themes. So every faction has the option to choose a theme for their city even before building it. And that will help promote more roleplay for your faction. Next, we're adding some new faction events. These are locations, one per faction, within your own faction territory that you can get together with your faction mates and run your own PvP events. It's themed to your faction, which looks amazing, plus you can do it your own way. You can make your own rules, you can set your own rewards, and if you're lucky enough, you can even get the gods to help out some. We're so excited to announce our brand new forums for our community. This includes our server players too. Just head on over to disrusted.com, click on forum, and you'll navigate to our new WTF Gaming forums. Here on the landing page, you can go directly to the forums, view all of the events our community is currently running and plan to run, join our Discord server directly from the website, and you can even see our full staff, not just our Disrusted community staff from the Disrusted website. We're also so excited about the new featured Twitch partnership program that we will be launching soon. To find out more, reach out to us on the forum and we'd be glad to share some thoughts with you. For now, check out our forum. Go ahead and register so that you can introduce yourself and at least get access to your faction's private forum section. Now, the long await is over. The new Fenrir skill is finally being released in Dimensions 4.0. We're so excited to show you what this does. It's called Slicing Bosk. A path of leaves and mayhem of slices move forward into a path of AoE up to 20 meters in front of you. It does not go through walls, but it uses mana, which is a nice new feature that we're starting to implement into the server. Each use of your skill will use some of your pool of mana. You'll notice it regenerates at 1 per second, so use your ability wisely. We're also super excited to announce the new Fenrir skill. This skill is so devastating. It's called Scorched Earth. Using your ability will summon a ring of fire around your body and catch the land around you on fire for about 10 to 15 seconds. This may be an incredible skill, but the Fenrir themselves have to be super careful because they could kill themselves. Good luck with your new skill, Fenrir, and watch your step. Number 10, the release of the Valkyrie. We are so excited to announce the release of the Valkyrie. The Valkyrie are Odin's watchers. They watch over the realms of men, keeping eyes out for hell and her evil. They are mortals who worship Odin and the gods and are devoted to serving and pleasing them. Everything they do is for Odin's glory and the longevity of life for the men and women who have come through the Bifrost. The Valkyrie also keep an eye out for the wolves of Fenrir, which we'll talk about in a moment. The Valkyrie have a direct line of communication to the gods and Odin himself. They can speak for the people or request the presence of the gods if the people need them. Their ability to heal those around them is a gift from Odin himself, called Touch of the Gods. Number 11. The release of the Wolves of Fenrir. This was a great suggestion by some of our players, and because of the depth that it can promote in the roleplay of our server, we decided to implement it in 4.0. The Wolves of Fenrir are the wanderers of the lands of the Forsaken. They are the descendants of Fenrir, the brother of Hel. They are kept at bay by the Valkyrie of the lands and pushed back from the areas of civilization. The wolves roam in the lands of the Forsaken, pillaging the ruins of the civilization's past and attacking pilgrims on their way to Asgard. The wolves of Fenrir do not have homes or bases. They live in the wild and sleep where they can for protection, in places such as caves or under rocks. They own only what they can carry on them and do not have the luxury of civil living or storage. As descendants of Loki, the wolves are mischievous and conniving. They lay traps for their prey and hunt down lone travelers. The wolves do not typically wander alone, but when they are sure to still be fierce and ready for a fight. Finally, number 12, the Lands of the Forsaken. If you played on Dimensions 3.0, you know very well that the center of the map was called No Man's Land. This was the area of the map where no one faction could claim land. That's still the case, but remember, the Wolves of Fenrir roam the lands of the Forsaken. It's their home, so take care when wandering through it. One of our very own, the Architect, is a writer and wrote the background story of the lore behind the lands of the Forsaken. If you haven't yet seen our video about it, check it out. I'll link it in the description. Thanks for watching, guys. We hope you enjoyed the Lands of the Forsaken video and the great new updates that are coming to Disrusted Dimensions 4.0. This is TaxSmart. I'll see you in the server.